I was supposed to sit here tonight, to read the news, to stay calm, to stay neutral. But what we saw, I couldn't narrate it like just another headline. So I left the chair, I left the script, and I chose to speak, as a mother. I went to the streets, not as a reporter, but as a witness. I wanted to see with my own eyes, to film what was real, not just repeat what they fed me through an earpiece, not just read what they wrote for me on a teleprompter. Maybe that makes me a bad journalist, but it makes me human again. They arrived dressed in black, silent, disciplined, no chance, no rage, just signs. They weren't playing. They were mourning a freedom they'd never tasted. While they stood with dignity, the president laughed.
If these kids are a threat to our democracy, come on. Send them some candy and toys, and I'm sure they'll settle down. If they keep whining, well, they could use a good scolding and an early bedtime. This is ridiculous.
To him, they were tantrums. To us, they were warnings. And the system replied, not with dialogue, but with gas. Then came the first arrests. Tiny wrists, cold steel. They didn't run, they regrouped. Something shifted, from peaceful lines to barricades, from silence to strategy. They were no longer just resisting, they were organizing. Then came the order. Stop them, by any means necessary. Tear gas, drones, rubber bullets that didn't ask their age. The streets turned gray and red. And then there was the image. A child, 4 years old, holding a sign that said, "We want freedom," and a police officer pointing a weapon. That moment wasn't just a moment, it was a mirror, held to our democracy. The world watched, the people cried, and the president decides to talk directly to the kids.
My dear young Americans, we've heard your little voices loud and clear. And while your passion is adorable, it's time to put down your signs and return home to your families. So I'm proud to announce a brand new national initiative, Operation Calm Kids. Every child who agrees to end their little protest will receive, drumroll please, a brand new smartphone and the latest gaming console.
The president offered screens to silence them, and off-screen, they silenced us. I couldn't speak freely anymore. Not on air, not in print, not even in whispers. So I filmed, not with a press pass, but with a question. Was it real? Was any of it? Maybe it was memory. Maybe it was fiction. Maybe it was a glitch in someone else's feed. But this was mine. A story I could never tell on the news. A truth I could only invent to reveal. If AI is dangerous, it's because it knows how to lie. But maybe it can also help us say what we're not allowed to say. They took away my microphone, so I built a lens. And with it, I made a film. Not a report, not a broadcast, but a protest. Maybe this never happened. Maybe it's already happening. Maybe this is just the cinema of someone who still has something to say.